Dirty Fuzz is the thing for me. Unique, it's different, but not too different. It's just rock and roll with so much flavor. Nowadays, rock and roll has become like a middle class, especially in England, it's become a fucking middle classes thing. If you've got money, you can buy your way to a record. Sad fact, England came up with great bands, Led Zeppelin, The Clash, you name it, man, the Beatles. I'm not saying that's not there. I think the record companies are not looking for it. I think if you dig deeper and not listen to PR, you will find some bands doing great music. But I think generally music's become soulless. It's become safe. Because Dirty Fuzz, we don't give a shit. The hardcore rockers know when it comes to the show, they know that this is it. This is rock as it should be. It is harder, you will persevere, but if you're like me, willing to die for rock and roll, then you can do it. But you need a job. This is not the life I want to be living, Leytonstone, you know. But that's where Beckham was born, Leytonstone, in the hospital I work in, Whips Cross. We don't pretend, we don't want to write something that everyone's gonna love and, you know, about getting pissed. Yeah, of course, if we're pissed, we'll write about it. It's about life, love, you know, the shit we go through and the good times. Do you know we've got a record out? We recorded Get Your Hands Dirty in 10 days. Downloadable from iTunes. People can actually take it and make up their mind, so you don't really need anyone now to actually sell your music. Go to iTunes, punch in Dirty Fuzz and you hear the music. I think at the time I was really going through a lot of love things and trying to figure out what love was. So the album's very much relationship based, although there's some political songs in there, like Better Wise Up, which we haven't released yet. Be careful what you read, be careful what you listen to, make up your own mind about things. And it's the same with music, you know, nowadays people have to be told, in London particularly, what they should listen to. Oh, well, is it in NME? NME is shit. Obviously, we've never approached any record companies just because, I don't know. You know, I think that when you go out there and you play, people will know about you. They have approached us recently. South by Southwest has helped, I think. Absolutely grew up on Motown and soul, you know. That was my thing. Rock and roll I really discovered later on in life, but I think most of it was soul, gospel music, rhythm and blues. You know, my dad would play those records, man. And ABBA. Yeah, I came to London when I was little, well, came to boarding school. My dad was ambassador and blah blah. Came to boarding school anyway and moved out of there, went to a bit of music school, didn't like it. I didn't like my singing because it was very husky and untrained. Although the teachers, some of the male teachers loved it when I was singing rock. So I thought rock and roll was my thing. You know, I always say to people, rock and roll is not pretty, you know? It's not about all the notes, so, you know, I like to look at the Stones. I mean, things will go out of tune. It's about the spirit. LA had a big influence on me because the day I came from LA, I decided to form a band, Dirty Fuzz. It inspired me. I was walking down a music school area like Sunset Boulevard and then I just heard this music, you know. Walked in, this rock and roll, you know. This guy was singing, I thought, I want to do that. Rock and roll, blues, you know, soul music, you know, Americans have a history of actually mixing that, you know, that's the sound. A lot of people think we're from New York sometimes when we play. Nowadays, that's lost. For some reason, I think English bands are making soulless music, you know, really, deliberately. you know, which is fine, but the world's changing. Lots of people are mixed. People are traveling now, you know. Dirty Fuzz is, I think, the band that everyone will be talking about. And I don't say that lightly. I think that it's not just credit to me, it's credit to the big drummer, the giant, Dan, who grew up on heavy metal and proper rock. There's Andy, who's Australian. Comes from, you know, the punk, you know, Australians, man, that's fucking out there. There's nobody, like, they're not in contact with anyone, so all they do is play rock. AC/DC, man, where did they come from? Australia. And then there's Maidi, who's Asian originally, English, but Asian. You know, I'm sure the curries have kind of helped shape who he is. There's a bit of flavor there, you know, and there's me, who's traveled around the world, and, you know, I don't consider myself African or English or anything. I think I'm just the most universal person you can find. So it's very unique. I mean, what band has that? Yeah, oh, Jack Daniels and Coke, that's just that. I think that's the sad thing about music, that you can't really do it properly, I think, without the drugs and you know, alcohol and, you know, somehow, because there's this straight path that you're supposed to take, you know, go to work, go and sleep, eat healthy. I think if you go that way, your music will be healthy music. So I think rock and roll, somehow something has to switch off from that path. And I think drinking, smoking, you know, just helps you relax and open up that side of you that loves to party, that animal, you know. Freud, that nasty, whatever, egotistic person inside you has to come out. Better than sex. When I'm on stage, it's definitely better than sex. Well, yeah. And I mean, I've had a few good, you know, sessions. My life is music. Sad fact. Can't call my mum and dad. So it's a life and death thing for me, I think. There's no choice. I'd love to want babies, you know. I'd love to be married. It's not me, you know.